My morning thought today is to future-proof your career. And what I mean by that is to think about probably 10, 15, 20 years from now. Are you on track with a profession or a business that you're operating that it is essentially evergreen, that it will be something that people need forever, that it's the kind of service or good that you provide that is something human beings need forever? Or is it something that's so adaptable that you can change with the economy and you can change as the industry changes? And I think when you're younger, you don't think about this. I mean, the future seems so amazingly far away. It seems like an eternity that you have to think about your career and your profession. And the last thing you're thinking about is the work I'm going into going to still be viable in 20, 30 years from now? But it can happen sooner than you think. And I think technology has accelerated change. And I think what we've seen with robotics and artificial intelligence is changing a lot of careers and professions for people in the tech industry, but not just tech. I mean, people that used to be in manual labor industries, professions, truck drivers, carpenters, and even people in kind of traditional jobs that you wouldn't consider to be at risk for something like this, like architects and surgeons. Artificial intelligence and robotics is changing everything. We already have self-driving vehicles. They are far from perfect, but they're getting better. They're already experimenting with trucks, like long haul trucks that can do everything completely fly by wire or drive by wire, I should say, uh, and be automated. So people who are truck drivers are probably going to be out of a job. And then you're thinking, well, I'm not a manual labor. I don't have to worry about robotics taking over my job in the warehouse and things like that. Uh, there's some crazy stuff going on, for example, in the world of architecture. Um, I was looking at something where I think it's called parametric architecture, parametric design, but they use artificial intelligence to throw a problem at it and see if it can design something, a component or a widget to solve a problem. And I saw something that was created by artificial intelligence that was incredibly bizarre looking, but used less material, was way lighter and way stronger than anything that a human being had designed in the same contest. And it looked like something from an alien architecture, alien world, like a spacecraft. No human being would have dreamed this thing up. It was bizarre. And typical fabrication couldn't have created it, but 3D printing can. And it was better. It was better than anything a human being had created. Lighter, less material, more cost effective, and stronger. It was better in every way. So now what? People who do 3D design and CAD design, are they going to be out of a job? Maybe. Maybe that's coming. Surgeons, there are now robotic surgeons that can do some of the simple surgeries that it used to require a human surgeon. There's one that does sutures and it's incredibly precise. It could be, the robotics have improved dramatically over the last few years. And so very small, very fine work. There's no human element. There's no fatigue. There's no shaking of the hand. It's something that can happen over and over and over again. The robots don't get tired. Um, Tesla just announced yesterday that they're working on a robot. So Tesla bot, Elon Musk was talking about it, a simple humanoid robot that can do basic manual labor kind of stuff. It's not incredibly strong or powerful, and that was kind of intentional to protect us, I guess. He said you could outrun it and you could probably overpower it, which is a good thing. Ha ha ha. Not so funny given some of the stuff he said about AI in the past and how we've essentially let the genie out of the bottle. But yeah, it can pick up like 150 pounds. It can lift things. It can move things. And so we've already seen robots taking over warehouse jobs. Amazon has tons of robots that do things. We've seen robots taking over factory jobs like auto manufacturing, you name it. Um, you've seen the work with Boston Dynamics. It was kind of funny at first. They have the dogs and they have the humanoid, and it was very clumsy and kind of silly, and a lot of joke videos were made 2 years ago. Now the thing can do incredible gymnastic moves. They just showed it doing parkour. It can do flips. It can do all kinds of stuff. So they are becoming more sophisticated. So a lot of the work that may have seemed secure, that there's no way a robot could do this or artificial intelligence could do this, it's already happening. It's already happening. And it doesn't even require that to lose your job. I'm sure Pony Express riders thought they'd have a job for life, but they didn't. you know, I'm sure people who were telegraph operators thought they had a cool cutting edge job that would be for life, and they didn't. Or something more modern. There were a lot of designers who worked in the print world on magazines and things like that. And I'm sure they thought magazines were going to be forever. How could people take the beautiful print work and transition it online? Who would want to do that? It's so, I don't know. It's just not, the reproduction isn't as great. Who wants to read crap on their phone? But now we have iPads with high resolution. And so print jobs disappeared. And there were some people who adapted and were able to move into web design and mobile design, and others who resisted, and now they're struggling. And I know some individuals who kind of refused to give up that world. And so they didn't future proof their careers or their professions. They didn't adapt quickly enough. They didn't look at where things were going and make the necessary change. And it's happening right now with the movie industry and entertainment. They recently said, before the pandemic, it's like, well, who would ever want to give up a theater experience? It's better in every single way. This is going to dominate forever. Hollywood movies will always be a big thing in theater with the in theater experiences. And guess what? It's already changed. People had to adapt last year, and now people are like, I'd rather just have it at home. I'll stream it at home, or I can pause the movie and get a snack. I don't have to pay $20 for a bucket of popcorn and $15 for a soda. It's like I'll watch the movie at home. Uh, the trade-off's worth it, and people have home entertainment systems that are much better too. So now the movie industry is completely disrupted, and they are fearful for their future. Nothing is safe. Not very much is safe. There are a few things I think they're going to last at least our lifetime. So I think that's something for you to think about is what are you doing to future-proof your career? If you look at the horizon and you look at the trends, you have to kind of look at what's happening and guess where the hockey puck is going, right? Where are things going? What could conceivably happen to the industry and to your profession? And how do you get ahead of it? How do you acquire the skills you need to adapt and be useful and relevant? How do you improve your human to human communication interaction? Because that's something that's very hard to replicate. There are a lot of things I think you can do to future proof your profession, your career, so that you can continue to be relevant and employed or running your own business for 10, 20, 30 years or until you feel like retiring, if you ever feel like retiring, right? Um, so that's my thought for today is what can you do to future proof your profession and your career so that you can be relevant for the rest of your career until you decide to retire.